If there's one thing that VR does better than any other gaming platform, it's letting you actually feel like the superhero. I'm talking about real power fantasy moments, swinging through cities, blasting through enemies, crazy abilities, and slicing through bad guys. So today we're going to be diving into the very best VR games that actually make you feel the absolute power of a superhero, whether you're talking about the official IP games or just games that nailed that superpowered feeling. But of course, before we dive into the video, I'll ask you one small favour, and that is to please consider smashing that like button, subscribing, and hyping, and every other button that's probably available down there. Give it a little poke for me, I'd massively appreciate it. Now let's dive into the very first game on this list. Official superhero games. Kicking things off, we have Deadpool VR. Deadpool VR doesn't just make you feel like Deadpool, it makes you feel like you've stepped into his brain. The game throws you straight into this chaotic cocktail of combat, teleportation, and fourth wall breaking nonsense that somehow feels completely natural once you get the controls down. This one really sells that superhero power fantasy here, as you're going to be getting the speed, and of course chaining together slicing, shots, dodging, and teleporting. It just feels bloody amazing. And of course, Deadpool's personality shines through everything, so it's not just you being as powerful as you are, you're going to also be laughing along to all the jokes and fourth wall breaking moments, as well as feeling stupidly powerful in the funniest possible way. It's a superhero energy, and of course it's just completely unhinged. Next up, we have Batman Arkham Shadow. This one is actual peak I am Batman energy. This game completely nails that power fantasy of being in a world's greatest detective, and of course the most feared vigilante in Gotham. Stealth mechanics feel incredibly immersive, hiding in the shadows, stalking criminals, launching ambushes from above, and of course getting that feeling that the enemies never really stood a chance. The traversal also feels incredibly satisfying in this, gliding between rooftops, using gadgets, and of course being able to analyze crime scenes. It all combines into this sort of grounded but powerful superhero experience that doesn't make you just feel like a god, it makes you feel like Batman. Next up, we have Marvel's Iron Man VR. If you've ever dreamt of wearing an Iron Man suit, actually becoming Tony Stark, well, this is the closest VR has ever gotten. The flight system in this is unbelievably satisfying. The controls as you thrust your hands, banking around corners, stopping mid-air, hovering and blasting forward, all giving you that total freedom. The sheer speed momentum you get to actually feel like an absolute powerhouse, and then there's the combat with twin repulsors, missiles, quick thinking, aerial maneuvers, and of course pulling this all off while feeling that sort of suit's weight and responsiveness. Iron Man VR isn't just making you the superhero, it makes you the machine built for heroism. This is a very unique and very addictive feeling. The game can be a little bit arcadey in points, but honestly this is such an incredible experience, and the opening scene to this game is one I will genuinely never forget. Next up, we have Assassin's Creed Nexus VR. Now this game, while not very superhero specific, it does give you that sort of superhuman agility and fantasy, and allowing you to step inside of something that you just simply can't do on a regular basis. Seriously. Sprinting across rooftops, grappling ledges at full speed, leaping across impossible gaps, and pulling off some of the most acrobatic takedowns, and it just feels like it's straight out of an action movie. The parkour system in this feels surprisingly natural once you get into the rhythm of things, and the flow is just incredible. It's fast, it's skilled, and it's super rewarding when you actually get to pull off some of these awesome things. Your body is just simply not capable of pulling off some of this stuff in real life, so being able to have that sort of superhuman feeling is just such an addictive thing. Plus the combat feels really powerful too. It's quick, it's precise and nice and fluid. Again, a little bit arcadey at points, but still it's super rewarding to actually get into and experience it, and it just makes you feel like an actual assassin, except for you're not playing on a flat screen anymore, you are them. Feel like Spider-Man. In this next section, we're going to be talking about the games that actually make you feel like Spider-Man. Well, sadly, we don't actually have any official Spider-Man games, especially anymore. There was originally a couple of little mini demos that came out, but they've now been removed. So we are left Spider-Man free in VR. For some reason, I don't know why, because this should be an absolute god mode of a game to actually put into VR. But nonetheless, we're still lucky enough to have some incredible titles which will actually make you feel like Spider-Man inside of VR. And kicking that off, that is Untangled. This really captures that pure raw joy of web slinging. The physics are really easy, they just click super simply. You can swinging, every swing matters, your angle, your timing, your momentum. Once you get started chaining your swings together and using the environment to launch yourself around, it becomes one of those really liberating traversal systems in VR. You'll get that sort of adrenaline rush from whipping around corners, threading through tight spaces, and pulling off mid-air direction changes that make you feel genuinely in control of your superhero body. The simplicity of the mechanics is what really makes this one shine. Nothing gets in the way of your ability to move like a super-powered spider hero, aka Spider-Man. Next up, we have the superior spider layer. Well, VR chat might sound like a weird addition to this, but actually no. The amount of effort creators have put into Spider-Man movement styles is insane. The superior spider layer is a shining example of just how creative and really genuinely amazing the community is inside of VR chat. This world in particular, there is a paid version and a freed version to this, and I highly recommend you check out both if you really truly want to feel like the incredible swinging system they have in that, the web physics, and the shockingly close to real experience that you can actually get inside of this. Wall running, wall climbing, flipping, swinging, parkouring across environments, and you can do it all with a bunch of friends, which somehow makes this experience even more fun because you're acting like a squad of spider people. Man, it's just ridiculously chaotic and honestly one of the most authentic superhero feeling experiences VR has had, and especially when you're thinking about the fact that this is community made, just incredible all around. Next up we have Resist. Resist is basically Spider-Man with a story, combat layered on top of it. The movement system and the weight and momentum makes you feel incredible inside of this. It's also incredibly realistic sort of feeling to how it would be doing these things, giving you that feeling of swinging with a purpose rather than just floating around. The city is laid out to encourage you to push your skills, taking sharp turns, swinging lower to the ground, and pulling off some of the more dynamic arcs, which elevates the whole experience in combination with the traversal and the action you're going to be doing inside of this game, going from point A to B, weaving through firefights, dodging obstacles, and of course staying momentum, keeping that momentum throughout this entire thing. It's like a real superhero feeling, and on top of that you're going to be fighting a bunch of drones, giant mechs, and all other sorts of stuff. It's got a really solid story inside of this, but just the web slinging mechanics inside of this game just feel incredible, and I just have to recommend that you give this one a go. Games that give you superhero powers. Next up, we're going to be talking about the games that give you that feeling of superpowers and just absolutely nail it. Kicking it off, we have Project Demigod. Now, this one really is the ultimate make your own superhero sandbox game. You're going to combine your powers, which in a way that just no other game really lets you do. We're talking about like fighting with pure strength, telekinesis, energy blast, wall running, speed boosts, really kind of whatever you're going to dream up. You can become a combination of all of your favorite superheroes in one thing. The physics play a huge role in this, selling that sort of fantasy, punching enemies into the air, grabbing them mid-air, and then flinging them off of the top of a building, because why not? Sprinting and everything just feels amazing because you're going to be running faster than the car, so you'll be like running as fast as the Flash, then you're going to be Spider-Manning while whipping up a wall, and then feeling like Batman because you're beating down on someone. This game just kind of has it all and is an easy recommend. Next up we have Synapse. Now Synapse absolutely nails the feeling of psychic powers. This is like nothing else I've ever experienced in my entire life. If you own a PSVR 2, this is the biggest no-brainer known to mankind. The game gives you telekinesis, which is honestly the best part. The objects snap into your control effortlessly, flicking them into enemies, exploding things around you, and it just gives you complete control of your mind as it uses the eye tracking to actually use to lock onto objects, and in a combination between that and your hands, you actually get to use like a bunch of your senses you've just never used in VR before, and it feels absolutely incredible. It really just lets you tap into everything that you've ever wanted to have when you think about telekinesis. Genuinely, every time I get outside of this game, I'm always looking at objects like, I feel like I could grab you, but sadly, you can't in the real world. But it does give you reason to jump back into this game again and re-experience it. Honourable mentions. Well, in honorable mentions, I just wanted to talk about some stuff that really just gives you that action hero power trip. We're talking like feeling a bit like John Wick, just embodying the actual action hero. And that, well, we couldn't mention without talking about Hard Bullet. Hard Bullet is a non-stop action hero energy with slow motion gunfights, physics interactions, and of course, feeling every single punch, devastate whoever you're hitting. This is a playground of weapons, traps, and it lets you just immerse yourself in this over-the-top action movie, feeling like an actual superhero inside of this, and just embodying the action hero. I mean, there's nothing better than this. It's one of the more sort of like immersive sandbox games that we currently have. Next up, Gorn 2. Now this one is pure strength, really. It's a ridiculous game, and I love it for everything that it's ridiculous for. Grabbing enemies, throwing them into walls, crushing them, smacking them across the arena, treating them like absolute ragdolls, and of course it's incredibly brutal, as it does definitely show the more brutal side of any person that gets into this game. It's a solid game, and again, it just gives you that feeling of absolute power. Next up we have Blade & Sorcery and Blade & Sorcery Nomad, depending on what system you're playing on. Even without mods, this feels incredible, but the reason I actually add this into this video is with the use of mods, you can pretty much turn this into anything you can imagine, and mods are super easy for Blade & Sorcery, especially Blade & Sorcery Nomad. You can be literally doing anything. Build Thor's hammers, shooting webs, using telekinesis, summoning lightning, flying. It's actually pretty endless. You can turn into any sort of superhero simulator you want, and that's why it just had to be in the honourable mentions list, because with a little bit of your work, you can turn this game into anything you want. Next up we have Bone Labs, and just like Blade & Sorcery, the same reason I put it on here, Bone Labs becomes an entire superhero universe once you've modded it. Flying, web slinging, enhanced strength, enemies, abilities, whatever you really want, you can turn this game into it. It's all entirely possible and very, very easy to do. Again, those ones just simply had to be added to this list. So those are the VR games that absolutely nail superhero fantasy, whether it's official Marvel or DC titles. Man, they all just make you feel like a superhero thanks to their movement, physics and powers. If you think I've missed any of your favourite superhero feeling games, then drop a comment down below and let me know, because I would like you to share your wealth of knowledge of games as well with other people so that they can get downloading those too. But of course, if you enjoyed this, then please do consider smashing that like button, subscribing and all that good stuff, and I will catch you in the next video.